Mountain State Mysteries contains mature themes and discussions that may not be suitable for all audiences. Listener discretion is advised. All individuals mentioned in this episode are considered innocent until proven guilty in a court of law.
Hey y'all, I'm your host Mark Covey.
And I'm Courtney.
And this is Mountain State Mysteries. The case we have for you today is about a man who was walking in the town of Beckley, West Virginia, when he was struck by an intoxicated driver. And to this day, no one knows who the victim is. This is the case of the BECKLEY John Doe. Summer in West Virginia is probably one of the best seasons. Everyone's out running around, especially in Raleigh County. People are at Grandview hiking, one of the many trails there. Or they go to Little Beaver State Park and paddle boat or walk trails there. But as the sun starts to go down, there's always like a shift. The sky is beautiful. Everyone's either at a cookout, a party, bonfire, or they go to a ball. And sadly, it brings out the worst in people. And on July 23rd, 1970, it did just that. Like I said, everyone was out. But there was one Shady Spring local, William Webster Rutledge, which he went by Bill, so throughout this episode we're going to just call him Bill. He decided to go out and enjoy a few drinks. And by 8 p.m., he was in no way, shape, or form to drive. He decided, it's a good idea, let me just get behind the wheel and drive home. He began driving south on Route 19, which I could be wrong. We both know how directionally challenged I am, but I'm pretty sure that's Eisenhower Drive.
Yeah, you're right. At this time, a man was walking south along the same stretch of highway, and he was hitchhiking. As Bill and this man reached the area of the former Fair Deal Market, which is just past the Ford dealership, to the left like you're driving to King Tut.
So basically, it's kind of somewhat across the road, kind of near the house you and I are both obsessed with, kind of like the wooded area right there at the edge of the driveway or the road, whatever that is.
Yeah, that one. So as Bill approached the hitchhiker, he lost control of the vehicle and veered to the right. And the front of his vehicle hit the man full force, knocking him sideways and over a small embankment.
So I'm wondering if that house would have been there at the time. If anyone would have seen it or, to me, 8 p.m., there should be other people on the road there.
Right. So I'm probably going to say that maybe they should have been. Mm-hmm. Somebody should have been at home or others should have been able to witness this.
Yep.
Bill kept driving another 300 feet before he finally came to a stop, which I think is where a counselor and a tattoo shop is.
But when Bill came to a stop, he ended up stopping against a parked car owned by Chester Seaman. Bill only had a few minor facial abrasions from the crash. Sadly, the hitchhiker wasn't so lucky. It took no time for the police and medical personnel to respond to the scene of the accident. The hitchhiker's body was badly mangled. Paramedics transferred him to the nearest hospital, which would have been Beckley ARH. He was declared dead upon arrival. It didn't take long for police to find themselves facing an awful situation. The hitchhiker was said to have been carrying no identification of any kind. They did find out that he wasn't a local. The state police only had his physical and clothing description to go on. It was estimated that the man was between 18 and 20 years old. 6 feet tall and weighed 160 pounds. He had a medium build, a small mustache, and reddish-brown wavy hair. When he was hit, the man was wearing black Levi slacks, a blue and gray checkered shirt, and black military-style jungle boots. In court, I had no idea what a jungle boot was, so I had you look it up. Would you care to tell everyone what you found?
So, a military jungle boot is a specialized combat boot designed for use in hot, humid, and rugged environments, particularly tropical jungles.
After his death, his description was sent out to newspapers, radio stations, and television stations. But sadly, none of this helped. Which, I guess I kind of can't say it didn't help. It actually caught the attention of a motorist who helped shed a little light on the entire situation. He said that he picked up the hitchhiker early in the afternoon of July 23rd in the small town of Sutton, which is about 80-ish miles from Beckley. Mm-hmm. He said at the time he was headed from Chicago to Bluefield, West Virginia. The hitchhiker told him that he had been born in Bluefield but spent the majority of his life in Chicago. The guy also remembered the hitchhiker saying that both of his parents were deceased and that he was traveling to Bluefield in order to obtain a copy of his birth certificate so that he could join the army. The driver said he didn't notice anything unusual or different about the man throughout the entire 80-mile drive.
So, what I'm kind of wondering was, during this entire 80-mile exchange, 80-some miles I should say, there was no mention of a name?
Yeah, no, I don't know if it was normal back then to let someone just, hop in your car and just talk and not be like, hey, how are you? I'm Jimmy. Yeah. What's your name? And, it makes no sense to me, but different times back then, I have no idea.
I don't know. It just kind of blows my mind a little bit that you would travel 80 miles and not know somebody's name.
Yeah. And have a conversation oh, my parents are dead. I'm getting my birth certificate.
And it makes you wonder too if he knew that there was a Bluefield, Virginia and a Bluefield, West Virginia.
True.
It does make you kind of wonder about that too. Yeah. Just to specifically say that you're going to Bluefield.
Right.
How would he know exactly what state to go to?
100%, yeah.
The driver told authorities that he was dropped off the hitchhiker at Rural Acres Drive, which then was the U.S. Route 1921 bypass. Rural Acres starts around the Ford dealership, which is a fourth of a mile away from where the accident happened.
So, this is taking me back, do we think he could have been seen by other drivers? Because we know how busy that road is. I'm sure it was busy back then.
So, depending, I know my mom would talk a lot, when she was growing up, and that's actually my mom's birthday, the night that this happened.
No way.
Yeah, and I know my mom always told me, Saturdays, it was such a big deal to go to Beckley.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure.
You spent all day in Beckley, and you ended your night at King Tut's.
Yeah.
She said, without a doubt, that's where her and my grandparents were at every Saturday, and every Sunday was with family. So it makes you wonder, there had to be other people who witnessed it, who didn't want to come forth. Maybe it was friends of Bill's, who knows?
And can I say, I kind of miss a King Tut burger and french fries.
The best.
Which I know it's at the bowling alley now, but it's not the same.
No. There was just something so nostalgic about getting to go to the drive-in and sit in your car and enjoy that delicious burger and fries.
Yes.
Oh, so good. Honestly, no residents who lived near there couldn't say that they saw him. Trooper B.A. Vaughn with the West Virginia State Police put together all of the information available on the hitchhiker, including post-mortem photos and fingerprints, and sent them to both the FBI and police agencies in Chicago. Honestly, it's so sad to say that no leads came about it.
And, I know they probably have it still to this day. Why didn't they release the pictures?
Exactly.
Because I know one of the Jane Does we covered, they released post-mortem pictures of her. I mean, I know nothing has came of it, but still, like, it would be so smart. And then, like, fingerprints, to this day, you could run them through a system.
But it makes you think, though, if there was any criminal activity to why he would have fingerprints. And another thing that blows my mind, too, is the number of unidentified people. You're telling me somewhere out there that there's not like a family member or a close friend or somebody of that nature who cannot identify who that person was?
Oh, I'm fully with you there. In an article titled "Wrecked Victim, Believed to be from Chicago," it said, quote, "The unidentified body of a dead traveler lies in the morgue at Beckley Appalachian Regional Hospital, waiting to be claimed. Beckley State Police said Monday evening that the identity of 18 to 22-year-old man killed by a car which went out of control on the US 1921 bypass in Beckley at 8 p.m. on Sunday has not been learned, but some progress has been made in the search for his name," end quote. So after this, the investigation was at a standstill. Authorities did release additional information on August 20th in hopes that they could jog someone's memory. And Court, can you read what the police put out in the media?
Yeah. Quote, "Beckley State Police are still attempting to uncover the identity of a young man killed when a car hit him as he walked along the 1921 bypass July 23rd. Trooper B.A. Vaughn said Saturday police haven't come up with anything yet. Fingerprints and photographs have been sent to Chicago police and have been returned with no identification," Vaughn reported. The material was sent to Chicago on a trip from a motorist who gave a man a ride shortly before his death. The motorist reported the man said he was raised in Chicago and was en route to Bluefield where he was born. The only mark of identification on the man was the name John Durfee stenciled in a pair of GI-type jungle boots, but this clue has led nowhere, according to Vaughn, who reported that he hasn't heard from the FBI yet. The unidentified victim is described as being from 18 to 20 years old, weighing 160 to 165 pounds, with reddish-brown curly hair. The Shady Spring man, Bill W. Rutledge, charged with negligent homicide in the accident, was waived the action of the Raleigh County Grand Jury on the charge and posted bond to Magistrate Joe Rodriguez. Rutledge is also charged by the state police with drunken driving, driving after his license was revoked, and fraud stemming from an alleged false application for an operator's license, end quote.
A check of the name John Durfee was made in Chicago and Bluefield, but the FBI's database returned no hits. However, the West Virginia State Police did identify who John Durfee was. There was no relation to the hitchhiker. The boots were actually sold at a surplus store and just found their way to the hitchhiker.
After this, the media coverage on this John Doe case died down. For months, his remains were kept in a drawer at the Rose and Quessenberry Funeral Home. The tragic death actually made owner Amos Quessenberry emotional. He felt that somewhere someone must be searching for the hitchhiker. When it came time to have the remains buried, Amos opted to place the man's body in a tightly sealed metal container, which was then placed inside a standard casket. Amos hoped that this would help aid in the preservation and help with any future identification.
A simple metal marker with the words "Unknown, died July 23, 1972, was placed at his resting place. In December of 1973, Bill was convicted of the negligent homicide. He was sentenced to a 12-month suspended jail sentence and charged $500. In court, you want to know something that I can only say it was a little ironic?
What's that?
The John Doe wasn't the only one who was killed in a vehicular accident on July 23rd in Beckley. Earlier that day, 4-year-old Christy Yvonne Motley was killed while playing in a park on Scott Avenue. Motley and 3 other children were hit by a speeding vehicle driven by a 17-year-old Irvington, New York girl. The driver fled the scene after the incident and was later arrested at the hospital where she was being treated. She was also charged with negligent homicide.
In 2018, the state of West Virginia entered the information on John Doe in the NamUs system along with the Doe Network.
If you have any information on the identity of John Doe, please contact the West Virginia State Police at 304-872-0800. We will be back next week with a brand new case. If you find yourself enjoying Mountain State Mysteries, take a second to follow, download, and rate the show on your favorite podcast platform. It helps others find good West Virginia true crime podcasts.
Don't forget to follow us on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, and YouTube, all at Mountain State Mysteries.
Do you have a case you want us to cover? Send us an email at mountainstatemysteries304@gmail.com.
For the show notes, check out our website at mountainstatemysteriespodcast.com.
Something that really doesn't add up in this case to me is like how no one saw it.
Right?
Like, come on, like Eisenhower. Is it another picture of? I love that kid. I just do not understand how
I don't understand.
no one
how you
can
could
see.
Yeah, like that don't make no sense to me how nobody's seen.
And I mean, everyone, I guess, kind of went Eisenhower Drive to Beckley from Shady back in the day.
Well, you would also have to go that way, but then after that, like...
I mean, if you remember, that's the road Margie Martin.
Yeah.
I cannot speak. It's the road Margie Dodd took.
Yeah, and too, like, if you went to King Tut's, you would have no choice but to go Eisenhower.
Yeah.
And plus, like, there were so many different things there that not there now. Like, there was a drive-in. Andy actually told me at one point, like, there was a slate dump out there.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Never
Yeah.
would guess that.
Yeah, I mean, basically, you got to think, like, the big place to go back in the days was uptown because they had G.C. Murphy's, and everybody went to Murphy's. You done all your shopping uptown, everything. And then, like, oh my God, it just blew my mind. Like, 4 years, my brother was born from that, like 1972.
Really?
Yeah, Deb was young.
Yeah.
But, like, you done all your shopping uptown and everything. And then, like, I guess you would have to, like, circle around and go up that way to get to Eisenhower because the other roads were there, but still at that point, like, it just kind of makes you wonder which way that they would go and stuff of that nature.
Yeah, I mean, people would have had to hear the impact, then the car crash. So, I don't know.
I don't know. It's just really sad. I just honestly, I feel that there are more things that they can do that they don't do.
Which I feel like now they can look at. I mean, we know the power of cases. I definitely feel like this is one that, could be looked into.
Exactly. Like, somebody out there has got to have the same DNA as this man.
Yeah, like, put it in 23andMe. Like, so, well, if they have his DNA. Because DNA didn't come in until the 80s.
I just feel that somebody out there, maybe the driver, knew his name.
Yeah.
I can't imagine going 80 some miles and not, especially like the way we are. At some point, just look at you and go, Tommy.
Yeah.
And stuff like that. Like, you can't tell me at some point, like...
You're not going to be like...
Yeah, like, I mean, are you sitting in silence the entire time? Are you having small talk? I mean, you're bound to ask what somebody's name is. Like, oh,
Right.
that shit irritates me.
Same.